guys, Brian 25 here.
Startup mode. Falcon 9 has taken over the remainder of the countdown. We're just waiting for the go for launch callouts.
We're watching launch of SAOCOM 1B atop of SpaceX Falcon 9.
Stage 2, press for flight. LD, go for launch.
Now the reason this flight is specifically interesting, because this is going to a polar orbit. But this is Cape Canaveral,
T-minus
not
30
Vandenberg.
seconds.
T-minus 20. I believe it's the first flight since the 60s to go into polar orbit, because there was huge problems with that one as well, with rocket boosters falling down in
T-minus
Cuba.
15 seconds.
Of course, that's not an issue because this will come back to landing zone 1.
10,
10,
9, 8, 7, 6,
There
5,
we go, the deluge system is
4,
on.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Ignition. And the liftoff of
And
SAOCOM
liftoff
1B atop of Falcon
Falcon's
9.
First East Coast polar launch, Ola, Argentina.
Yes, SAOCOM 1B is an Earth observation satellite launch for Argentina. There we go, that's Slick 40, Space Launch Complex 40, at the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. SpaceX also launched SAOCOM 1A well, back in 2018. But does that feel like a long time ago?
We're now 40 seconds in the flight. Falcon 9 has taken off. It's cleared the tower, and we're currently throttling down to prepare for maximum Q. That's the point of maximum aerodynamic pressure. It's at 1 minute 12 seconds.
Also, this booster has flown 3 times before. This is its 4th flight. Flown Cirrus 1920, and they said Starlink 9.
Vehicle has reached maximum aerodynamic pressure.
You've heard it. We've reached max Q. At this point, the loads in the vehicle
That means
become
vehicle's
less and less as the
supersonic.
atmosphere gets thinner. We're now able to throttle those
Vehicle's
Merlin
clear,
engines
okay.
back up. And at its maximum power, like right now,
And,
the
engine
vehicle
chill
consumes
started.
more than 700 gallons of fuel per second. All's looking good with our first stage's trajectory. The next couple events, there are 5 events, one after another. First, our main engine cuts off on our first stage. The stages will separate. Our first stage will then
It's going to be a
flick
longer one
around
because
to begin its landing attempt. The second stage's Merlin vacuum engine will ignite for second engine start 1. The first stage's boost back burn will start. It's one of 3 burns to help us land. They occur
Boost
one after
back
another in about
re-entry
15
landing.
seconds.
I
And this is
presume it's
that
just an
first polar
earlier
orbit.
cutoff than usual.
If the clouds, you can see through the clouds here, you'll see some unique views that you haven't seen from Falcon 9 over Florida.
Well, from anyone, really.
And we have Miko.
Miko,
Stage separation confirmed.
there they go. MVAC ignition. See the boosters
And,
itself
ignition.
rotating back to prepare for the boost back, which you might actually get to see from the second stage perspective.
All right,
This is
all
going
of
to
those
be good.
events happen successfully one after another.
And there
This
goes the boost back.
burn. It'll last about 40 seconds. And so you see it on the left-hand side of the screen. On the right-hand side, you will see our second stage carrying those 3 satellites to orbit. And
There are
coming
2
up next
rideshare
in about 20
payloads.
seconds, that boost back burn will end, and then we'll have our fairing deployment.
Yeah, I think on this flight, because of the, earlier cutoff of the first stage, I believe.
Boost back, shut down.
There we go, you can see all the cables moving around.
That first landing burn, the boost back burns.
I believe the second stage might have to
successfully
burn a
ended.
bit longer.
Our 2 fairing halves will now jettison.
That's why it's burning more
expose,
steeply.
The satellites to space.
There we go, the grid fins are deploying.
You see the first stage has already been a turnaround, and you can see the nitrogen from our attitude control system helping
Okay, there
guide
you
it
go,
back.
get ready for the fairings to deploy now.
Fairing separation confirmed.
There we go. That was a bit unnerving when you
There see
get
our
the
2
call
fairing
out
halves
for
have jettisoned.
the
You can
video.
even see them in the background there on our MVAC engine, and
There you go.
can see them from land too. It'll take us some time to get those to come back down. We'll keep you posted on the update.
Of course, those are going to be fished out of the water because there's only one ship out there at the moment. The other was in location for the Starlink launch, which got
4 minutes and
delayed
13 seconds into flight. Everything is
sometime
looking
next
great
week.
for tonight's mission. On the right-hand side of your screen is a view of our second stage, specifically its Merlin vacuum engine. We also call it MVAC engine for short. It's currently in the first of its first and only planned MVAC burn. The first burn should last for about another 4 minutes. On the left-hand side of your screen is a view of our first stage looking downward. It's continuing to fall back towards Earth. The next milestone for the first stage is its
Ready for
first
re-entry.
stage entry burn. Falcon 9 needs to execute an entry burn to slow itself down before hitting the dense parts of the atmosphere.
So it doesn't
Without
rip
this
itself apart,
second
basically.
burn, relying on the atmosphere alone to slow Falcon 9 down would put unnecessary strain on the rocket. That entry burn is coming up at T plus 6 minutes and 10
Second stage
seconds.
is following nominal trajectory.
Acquisition of signal, South Texas.
You may have also noticed that we've deployed our 4 hypersonic grid fins. Those are the honeycomb-like structures that you see on the left-hand side of your screen. They help to guide the first stage back during
Oh, you can
descent
see the launch
by
fin there,
moving the
just
center
under
of
the
pressure
first
on the
stage now.
vehicle.
Not just under, but very close. So please note, the first stage is actually kind of flying aerodynamically as it gets lower, as in it's using its side
Again,
as kind of a
those bursts
wing.
of gas are
Not a
nitrogen.
wing, but to
It's
control its
absolutely
direction.
normal, and those help to orient the rocket during its descent back towards Earth.
Because even now the booster's actually heading for the ocean. And then it will slide in over the landing zone specific, so basically in case anything
We're
goes
about
wrong,
20 seconds away from our
it splashes
second burn.
down instead of
The entry
crashing
burn.
into the
Stage 2
landing zone.
FTS has saved.
FTS flight termination software. That would blow the vehicle up if things were to go wrong. There was a risk of it falling down on populated areas. Or well, on anything, really. Get ready for the entry burn. There we go, the entry burn has started.
And 3 Merlin engines have relit and are currently slowing the first stage down before it hits those dense parts of the atmosphere.
The plasma also sometimes helps acts as a pseudo heat shield.
Second stage on the right-hand side of your screen is continuing to perform as expected.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
There we go, cut off.
And that is our second burn completed. And as we mentioned earlier, we are going to be attempting to recover this booster back at land on landing zone 1. The first stage has one more burn left. That is
The landing burn.
It begins just before we
Second
touch
stage
down
still
and
following
provides the
nominal
booster with
trajectory.
a soft descent before we land.
We're passing through the clouds now.
During this period, the landing legs will also be deploying. You might be able to catch it right before we touch down.
There you go, you can see Cape Canaveral there.
Made up of state-of-the-art carbon fiber and aluminum honeycomb.
Stage 1 transonic.
Oh, you can actually see the mock effects now.
Getting closer and
Oh, that's
closer.
cool. That is so cool.
The first stage is passing through the cloud layers right now.
There we go, ignition for the landing burn.
Stage 1 landing burn startup.
And here comes Falcon 9 attempting its 4th landing.
Wobbly landing, or wobbly descent, but over this landing complex 1. You can see it's just sliding in over the pad now.
Stage 1
Landing
leg
leg deploy. And stage 1 touchdown. That's
And
cool.
you could not
That's
ask
really
for
cool.
a better landing than that. Falcon 9 has landed once again. That is number 4 for this first stage booster and the 58th overall of an orbital class rocket. What a way to start off tonight's mission.
I like how they always stress orbital
The
class, just as a
second
bit of
stage
a
and
middle
our
finger
primary
to
mission are
Blue
still
Origin.
continuing and remain healthy. The next milestone for the second stage is second engine cutoff 1, also known as SAOCOM 1, and that is coming up at
Oh god, what the... hang on. Issues with the internet. Just give it a bit of a moment. Okay, for some reason it
We
didn't
had a
record
successful
this,
stage
the
separation.
deployment.
Second and final.
So I'm just going to skip ahead a bit here. There we go, SAOCOM 1B deployment.
All right, you've seen it. We heard it.
On Body 35, that was
Successful
the
deployment of that
launch
SAOCOM 1B
of
satellite.
SAOCOM
And as a
1B on a
reminder,
Falcon
this
9.
satellite
Goodbye.